have found the Genesis frequency. This is Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina welcoming you in to another episode of a show that focuses on your whole life prosperity and success. Whole life prosperity and success by cooperating with the universal laws that are available to each and every one of us. This is Quantum Leap Goal Achievement, Radical Personal Transformation, Whole Life Prosperity and Success. Now, stay tuned for another exciting episode that'll move the needle in your life from where you are now to where you want to be. And welcome back in. Welcome back in. This is Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina coming at you with another episode of the Genesis Frequency. The Genesis Frequency, if you're new or newer, we are all about personal and professional development, helping you to make a quantum leap from where you are now to where you want to be. Radical transformation, goal achievement, all for the individual, for the small business owner, or for the corporate team. We address all three of those entities because we want different things within those entities, within the individual, right? Within our small businesses and entrepreneurship, and within the corporate environment, corporate culture. I talk a lot about corporate culture. Hey, I want to dive right in today because I tend to go long if I ramble on too much in the beginning. And I want to go back not to the previous episode. I want to continue the episode prior to that one. So if you're new or newer, you want to go back to the episode titled The Field of Infinite Potential, Unconditioned Energy. Okay. Last one, I was listening to some comments and some requests, and I did the metaphysical laws, to sales mastery. So that's a good episode too for those involved in sales. But I want to continue because one of my highest rated shows was the one prior to that, talking about the field of infinite potential, which is the field of unconditioned energy. So I want to go into that a little bit more because I carried on. I was so excited about it, and I threw so much information. I listened to it again yesterday, and I thought, well, there's a lot here. And if you're new or newer to the laws of cause and effect, the laws of infinite potential, the laws of achievement, if you're new to that, and metaphysical laws, which is, what's the underlying nature of things? What are the causes that produce the effects we experience in our lives? If you're new to that, I threw a lot of information at you. And really, it was a simple invitation. That was my intention. It was a simple invitation to go to a place in consciousness and touch this field of infinite potentiality. Just become aware of it. And, it's one of those things that you can hear a lot about. You can read a lot of books and hear about the field of infinite potential, the field, excuse me, the field of infinite potentiality. You can read a lot about that, and you can probably do a Google search and have page after page after page. But this is one of those things that, the light bulb really has to go off in you. You really have to have that aha moment. You really have to move to that place of awareness of this field to have it become real for you. This is this is something that is a reality. In fact, it's where we all come from. It's where everything comes from. And one of the best ways that you can experience this is entering into the silence. And this episode's not going to be about the silence, but that's how we access this place, this field in consciousness. we do want to get quiet. We want to get quiet, whether you have a meditation practice or a mindfulness practice or whatever it is, or just sitting quietly for some time. Make sure that you do shut out all distractions. You go into the room, you shut the door, meaning to shut the world off around you, and you just get quiet. No radio, no TV, no smartphone dinging and screaming for your attention, right? I think it screams for our attention even when it's not making any noise, right? We're becoming a society that has to have that in our hands. So we put everything down. We eliminate all distractions. We just go into the silence for a while. Now, this can be really difficult at first if you're not used to doing it. The silence will be screaming at you. The inner thoughts, the monkey chatter, the inner dialogue will be yelling at you, which is really the ego just yelling for attention, right? But it will learn not to fight you if you continue in this practice. If you just continue to say, I am establishing uh, time, morning and nighttime. That's ideally the way to do it. First thing in the morning and at night before you go to bed. And I am establishing this practice. I am practicing this silence day in and day out. And you're training your consciousness. You're training your mind to respect your appointment with the silence. So it'll stop fighting. It's really the ego fighting it for attention, yelling and screaming, "Hey, what about me? What about me? What about me?" So we go into this place of silence. And in this place, and it might take you a while to get there, but you want to go to that place beyond thought, beyond conditions, beyond circumstances, beyond events, beyond judgment, beyond assumption. And the objective here is just in that quiet time to move to that place of an awareness of energy, infinite energy. Energy is all there is, predates everything. Energy is all there is, right? And we want to go to a very primal, very primitive energy that is unconditioned. That's what that last episode was about. Again, prior to the last episode, I had the episode, The Field of Infinite Potential, Unconditioned Energy, and that's what we want to go and experience. We condition energy in consciousness as soon as we start throwing the pebble in the pond, so to speak, with thoughts. So we want to go to that place and just sit in that field of potentiality, which is raw, pure, unconditioned energy sitting there without judgment, just aware of it, aware of all that is. Because everything comes from, another term for this field of infinite potentiality is really this field of unity because it is our essence. It is the essence of all things. Everything is energy. We are, immersed in this ocean of energy. And as it has been conditioned, we came to be. So we are of this energy. You can call it what you want. You can call it the field of potentiality. You can call it source energy. You can call it God. You can call it and label it whatever you want to label it. But as soon as you label it, you're conditioning it, and that's fine. For a reference point. But always go back of it, back of the conditioning, back of the thought, back of whatever label you're giving it, and realize it's pure potentiality, pure source, pure creator, pure energy, where everything comes from, including me and you. But we've been given the power. We have dominion over this energy. We are creative spiritual beings, and we can intentionally in this space, after we sit with it for a while, after the judgment and the monkey chatter has died down, we can drop that pebble in the pond, so to speak, of this field of infinite potential, drop that pebble representing our intention. What do we want to create in our lives? What our what are our desires? What are the dreams and the hopes and the aspirations that we have a longing and discontent because we want to experience them in our lives? This is how it's done. This is where it is done from. Yes, you can use the canvas of your mind and create the picture of the life you would love to live. How would you like everything to unfold? We talk plenty about creating the life you would love to live here. And again, this is for individuals, small business owners, and in your corporate environment. Corporate environment, you want to get the whole team on board with this. So it's probably useful to have somebody come in and guide this, and whether even if you're an individual, it's probably better to work with a mentor or a consultant that can take you by the hand and lead you through this process, even in your small business, wherever you are on this path of life, to really take you and lead you on this journey. Because when that light bulb does go off and you're able to quickly move from the busyness of your day into closing the door, shutting the door to your room and going and practicing the silence, and you establish that silence, and you can quickly and easily go to that field of infinite potentiality of raw pure energy, then you can begin to see that light bulb go off and go, wow, this is it. This is where everything has come from. And then you realize, yes, I mean, it becomes so clear that it's the clarity is there. Deepak Chopra, perhaps you heard of him, brilliant author, spiritual leader. He has a little book called the Seven Spiritual Laws of Success. And his very first chapter is the law of pure potentiality. And I want to share a few words from there, but I really want you to experience this, because when that light bulb goes off, you know that this becomes a place of pure substance. That's another thing you could call this pure field of unconditioned energy. Is we can call it substance. And we have been given the power through our thought, through consciousness, to mold and shape the substance. And we're doing it all the time anyway. That's the point. We're molding and shaping it, and we're throwing pebbles into the pond. But so many of us are doing it unconsciously. And so many of us are doing it on the negative side of the coin, dropping in pebbles of worries and doubts and fears. Remember, this is unconditioned energy. So it will be responsive to that pebble that we drop into it, whether it's on the positive side, uh, like dreams, hopes, desires, aspirations, or whether we drop that pebble in that's worries and doubts and fears, right? Because we interact with this field of energy through the power of our mind, a combination of our conscious and our subconscious mind. Deepak Chopra, in that chapter on the law of pure potential, says the source of all creation is pure consciousness. That's what we're talking about here. Pure consciousness, pure potentiality, seeking expression from the unmanifest to the manifest. Remember, I just said this field of energy is responsive to us. That's what he's talking about here. It is seeking expression. This energy wants to press out into visibility through us. It is available to and through us. We are the molder of the clay, of the substance. We can shape it into anything we want, but most of us bring our worries and our doubts and our fears to this place, and that's what we mold and shape. And by continuing to drop those pebbles in, we experience the ripples of those pebbles in our life experience. Hopefully, this is helping you to to have that light bulb go off for you. He continues, And when we realize this, and when we realize that our true self, our pure self, our self that is one of this energy, when we realize that our true self is one of pure potentiality, we align with the power that manifests everything in the universe. Everything's come from this field of potentiality. You have to grasp this. Everything was created from here. Everything was created twice. Everything was created in consciousness. Everything was dropped like a pebble into this field of pure potentiality, into this consciousness, into this pond. First as an idea, as a thought designed on the screen of the mind using the power of the imagination, dropped into this pond, and this energy being responsive has worked to make it manifest in our experience. He quotes the hymn of creation from the Rig Veda here. It says, "In the beginning, there was neither existence or non existence. All this world was unmanifest energy. The one breathed without breath by its own power. Nothing else was there." That's telling us we are of this one source, uppercase one. We are that creator. We are the ones that drop the pebble in the pond. We have been given dominion, the power to drop the pebble of whatever the intention is that we would like to experience in our lives. He continues, he goes, "The first spiritual law of success is the law of pure potentiality. This law is based on the fact that we are, in our essential state, pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is pure potentiality. It is the field of all possibilities and infinite creativity. Pure consciousness is our spiritual essence. Being infinite and unbounded, it is also pure joy. Other attributes of consciousness are pure knowledge, infinite silence, perfect balance, invincibility, simplicity, and bliss. This is our essential nature. Our essential nature is one of pure potentiality." How is that, man? How is the light bulb going off for you? I'd love to see some comments. I'd love to have you reach out and have a conversation with me around this. He continues, just a few more sentences here. "When you discover your essential nature and know who you really are, in that knowing itself is the ability to fulfill any dream you have, because you are the eternal possibility, the immeasurable potential of all that was, is, and will be." The law of pure potentiality could also be called the law of unity, because underlying the infinite diversity of life is the unity of one all pervasive spirit. There is no separation between you and this field of energy. The field of pure potentiality is your own self. Think of your high self, your higher self. And the more you experience your true nature, the closer you are to the field of pure potentiality. Might want to get that book. It's a great little book. It's a easy read. I think it's only boy, just over 100 pages. Seven Spiritual Laws of Success. But this is something. This first chapter, I've read this. I've taught it as a class. I've had it for years and years and years. But this concept of the field of this truth, I really should say, not a concept even, this truth of the field of infinite potential is something that really has to, like I said, the light has to go off. You have to have that aha moment. You have to go there. You have to experience it. And we do that through the doorway of the silence. But once there, and you heard the words of Deepak, once there, we become aware of this. We are so powerful. And in fact, it's mind boggling to realize that, yes, we are this field of pure potentiality, but we have conditioned it through our lifetime with our thoughts, and those thoughts have formed into habits and behaviors and beliefs, some that are not aligned with the truth of being. some that are not aligned with the truth of who and what we are. And we've bought into them, and what happens? It becomes another pebble in the pond that conditions this energy in a way that delivers experiences and results to us that we don't really want to have. And then what do? We continue in that and we complain about it, right? We just go on and we complain and then we're moaning about it and groaning about it. And when we do that, each of that moan, that groan, and that complaining is another pebble that we're dropping in this pond. We're continuing to condition energy in a negative way, and that energy will be responsive to that thought pedal we're dropping in. But think about how powerful you are when you become aware of this, when this becomes real to you through entering that doorway of the silence and experiencing this. Don't let your thoughts condition this field. Not for now. Just go into the silence and become aware that there is a real place in consciousness, a real place in this universe where it's nothing but pure energy, unconditioned energy, pure potential. You are the possibility. But don't even go there yet. Just become aware of it. Maybe you are. Write to me, call, reach out, talk to me. I'm going to leave it right here for this week because we're out of time. We're going to continue to talk about this, and really, hopefully, the objective here is to get you excited about this pure, raw place, this field of energy that you've been given the power to condition and mold and shape into whatever you wish to experience in your life. And it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. There's some laws that, kind of guide us along the way. We don't want to create or drop anything in here that can harm us or anyone else. We want to have a foundation, right? When we move into the role of creator and have that thread of love running through everything and compassion. But again, we're conditioning the energy at that point. So we want to intentionally and deliberately create from a strong foundation. And we'll talk about that foundation. What does that foundation look like that we want to be standing on when we dip our toe in the water, when we're throwing those pebbles into that field of energy to be that creator in our lives, to realize, and you got to be in this place where you realize that you have all this power. This power is you, it's what you're made of, and you're just learning to cooperate with it, to work with it, to mold and shape. Think of the ocean, just standing at the edge of the ocean, all that water, pure potentiality. We can scoop it up, right? We can freeze it. We can take it to a sculptor and he can chisel it into a shape, into a statue of a person or a thing or an object, just that pure raw water, frozen, altered, right? But it's just sitting there as pure potential when we look at just the ocean and the waves, with no borders, no other side. Just if you look at the infinite part of it. And that's what we're talking about here in this field of energy. So get excited about there. Just for right now, if you're new to this, again, go into the silence, experience it, just say, I am here, and just watch that you're not conditioning any of this energy at this point. And then we'll talk about conditioning it as we move forward. Hey, reach out, talk to me. Successappointment.com gets you on my calendar. Successappointment.com gets you on my calendar. We can talk about any of this. We can help you as an individual. I can help you in your small business. I can help you in your corporate environment. So let's have a conversation. You want to move into personal, professional development, leadership development as a business? Hey, reach out to successocean.biz. I recently posted a new video in there talking about, hey, I'm looking for people. Got to do an interview. And it's not right for everybody. It's not multi level marketing, but it is in this field of personal and professional development. Join the laptop and cell phone lifestyle where you can work anywhere in the world, generate an income. So we can talk about that. That's successocean.biz. Get on my calendar, successappointment.com. Hey, companies, probably best to go to successocean.com and have a look there. Fill out, give me a little more information before we chat. But either way, reach out. Love to have conversations with everybody. Let's see what we can do to move you from where you are to where you want to be. That's our time for today. I want to thank you for listening in. I do truly appreciate each and every listener. That's why these calls with me on my calendar are free. So reach out, take advantage of this gift to you. Let's talk, successappointment.com. And for now, I'm going to say that's a wrap. You've been listening to the Genesis Frequency. I'm Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kosmina, and I wish for you an infinitely spectacular day. God bless you.